What's up, my good people? What's going on? So, I've been noticing a segment of the people that, come on, make these videos about the movies and castings and all the good stuff. All those good comic fans. There's a segment of the population that just can't seem to get over the good old days. I love the good old days. I love the good old days. I like to think back to Spider Man. If I could just sit down and watch this Spider Man cartoon with, that 1967 vibe, or even the 1994. John used to come on after school, after the kids would come home from daycare. I'd sit there and watch it. They were too young to even know what was going on, but I watched it with them, got them prepared for this stuff. But with all the castings and the new Spider-Man, brand new data came out, a lot of people are stuck beside themselves. They are complaining about things that are, to me, I don't want to go as far as to say ridiculous, but I'm just going to say ridiculous. It's like people. At times change. This stuff has to change. We can't stay stuck in the same old rut. Okay? I hear people complaining about the X-Men castings. I hear people complaining about Jean Grey. That's not the Jean Grey that we know. Jean Grey that we know. Which Jean Grey? Are you going back to 1964 X-Men? Are you going to 1972 X-Men? Are you going to 1980s X-Men? Are you going to 2012 X-Men? What X-Men are you talking about that Jean Grey, you know? You got to remember, if they continue to make these, listen, we have our day. We've had our day. Yes, we can still want to enjoy these movies, but we have to realize that these movies are being made. They have to be made to cater to the up and coming generation, the present generation, the Generation Zers. Listen, I have some Generation Z offspring. I'm not crazy about some of the things that they're into. But if they don't make these movies to entertain them and the millennials, no one's going to go see these movies. If you stay stuck with the Aunt May that's right next to me versus having the Aunt May that we had, if you stay stuck with the Peter Parker that we had back in the 1967 cartoons or even the 1970s comic books, instead of the Tom Holland, no one's going to go see this stuff. Those were made for those times in the 60s and the 70s. But what they're making today is made for today's kids. Starting a brand new X-Men franchise, you think if they go back and make the daggone with the things that were going on in the 60s and the 70s, that it's going to capture the interest of these kids that probably don't even know the history of what the hell was going on then? They could give two craps. They got to see something that's familiar to them. They don't want to see that. They want to see something that they can relate to. So by starting the X-Men off young and by having them deal with having the attitudes and the mindset of today. Oh, and I know this is going to trigger a lot of people. Oh, it's going to trigger the questions. But if you don't do what's relevant today, you're not going to sell tickets to these movies. You're not. You're just not. Okay? So having a new MJ, play off of a Mary Jane, can't have Mary Jane from 1967 coming out talking about Groovy Tiger. Oh, I love that stuff. I'll read it all day long. I'll watch those old cartoons all day long. We can't go into 1979 with, having Firestar from Spidey and His Amazing Friends era. Is that what you think today's Gen Zs are going to look at and say, yay? They will not. They will not. You got to have the Tom Holland Spider-Man that we just saw. You got to have the Jean Grey, and then the daggone X-Men have to have that same attitude as Jean Grey had. Does that mean they stay that way? No. But there's going to be life lessons for today's generation, not yesteryear's generation. And they will get it. That's why they're going to Westchester to meet Professor X, Xavier, Charles Xavier, because Charles is going to show them where all the things that they are missing, all the things they are missing, okay? Integrity, humility, compassion, maybe even love for some of them. He's going to show them how they can rest in that. And what that means today is a little different than how it came across in 1964 or 77 or 83, even 2003. Yeah, recognize that. But anyway, just had to get some of that off my chest. And I got more, but I'm going to stop for today. So y'all, don't forget to hit that subscribe. Make mine Marvel. Peace.